Enter mode.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I only just realized it's Friday. It's not Saturday when I started streaming. Um, my brain is absolutely mush right now. So I think I need to take some time off of what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna commit to doing this today. Um, yeah, my brain's absolute mush. I hyper focused pretty much all of yesterday into switching over the programs I use. And for anyone who doesn't know, my programs are like a fucking huge part of what I do. So I've switched over what is currently displaying my model, so hence why I look a little bit different. Um, I've switched over my bot, so some redeems and stuff aren't fully working quite yet. Um, this is a good chance to get to experiment things. But yeah, I thought it was tomorrow. I completely missed a day in there somewhere. It's real bad. Oh, it's real bad. So I think I need some time to demush my brain. So for that, we're going to play Shibuya. I love this game, so I think some reading time will help me bring me down a little bit. I'm really, really close to finishing my stuff. which is good. I have been working on it. When did I get up? I worked on it pretty much all of yesterday, so about 12 to 14 hours, I'd say. And then I worked on it again today for about 6 to 7 more hours. So cumulatively, I've spent about a day straight working on all this, which is kind of wild. And my brain's absolute mush, so let's get into this. So right now we're at a bad end for Minorikawa because of what's going on with Tama's. So Tama's, I need to make a different decision. Kano's need to go through. Osawa's is at a keep out point right at the end, so I think we're good on Osawa's. That one's at a keep out point. So let's go Kano for right now. Following Kano's directions, Stanley drove towards the crime syndicate's hangout. There was a good chance that this is where Maria was being held. Traffic was practically non-existent, and they made good time. They cruised down Miyamasukazaka. Close enough. Then passed the train towards Dogonzaka. All the while, the two men stared at the windshield, neither inclined to make a conversation. They arrived at the Shisencho intersection. Take a right here, Kano said. You're nervous? Stanley asked as he made the turn. His own tone was calm and level. Kano gave no reply. If the syndicate really was holding Maria hostage up ahead, he and Stanley might wind up putting her in danger by showing up there. If it came down to it, Kano wondered, could he really count the man next to him taking the hostage's safety into account? He doubted it, but there was nothing he could do about it now. They arrived at the syndicate's hangout sooner than Kano had anticipated. It was a multi-tenant building in Tomigaya, southwest of Yoyogi Park. The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down at any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. I'll take point, Stanley said. You back me up. He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock. Yeah, we're back on this game again. Hi, Raz! I'm technically not supposed to be streaming today. I thought today was tomorrow. I am very gone. So we're back to this game to help me come back down to earth. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It was a compact Glock. Yes, a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI or CIA. Glock 17, a semi-automatic pistol developed in Austria for police and military use, notable for its incorporation of large amounts of polymer, plastic, in its design. A certain Hollywood film including a line of dialogue claiming that the Glock would not show up on airport x-ray machines, but since the gun barrel itself is made of metal, this is assuredly not true. FBI. See, this is how God I am. I really can't pronounce things today. Federal Bureau of Investigation. An American investigative bureau established by the U.S. Department of Justice in 1908 has authority in matters involving crimes that cross state lines as well as threats to public order such as espionage and terrorism. Generally speaking, the FBI conducts its activities within the United States. Ooh, that sounds really fun. You'll have to let me know how those books are. That genuinely sounds fascinating, actually. CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, one of the principal agencies of the U.S. intelligence community, reporting to the Director of National Intelligence, possessing considerable budgetary resources and a vast network of highly trained personnel. The CIA carries out intelligence gathering and covert operations, primarily overseas. In recent years, the organization has been devoting major efforts to counterterrorism. Ooh, that'd be fun. That's a very fun time to set it in. I just realized my support points are wrong. Let me fix those. See, this is what I get for updating things. I don't remember all the things I need to fix. One moment. Where is it? Yeah, because I just spotted that. That should fix it. Yes, that fixed it. Does that say the same thing over twice? One moment, Again, this is... Yeah, that says latest follower and latest follower. That's not correct. Things gonna be jank for a while. It's okay. That one needs to be subscriber. And those aren't my actual latest. I can't put the actual latest right now. It'll update itself eventually. Alright. That's a few more things fixed. I will slowly be fixing things throughout the stream, so make sure to use redeems and stuff. That will help me out a lot. Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. They immediately heard some sort of ruckus from beyond a wooden door at the far end of the hall. Please don't let this be what I think it is, Kano thought to himself. Sweat beaded on his hands as he gripped his gun tighter. He heard the sounds of glass shattering. Then came the sound of something heavy falling to the floor. Maria? Ignoring Stanley's previous order, Kano rushed ahead, kicked down the door, and stepped inside. He walked right into a massacre. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor. He thought he recognized them all, the men who'd participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Had these guys all turned on each other? No, that couldn't have been the case. Hi, Sol. Did that actually throw something, or did that not? Hi. Things might be broken, so bear with me. thank you for the subscribe. That did not go through. Why did that not go through at all? That's odd. One moment. That definitely should have done something. Why are things broken? Well, no. I spent all of yesterday redoing quite literally everything. So I've switched over my bot, I've switched over which program I'm using for my avatar display. So that should have done something. But thank you for the sub, I genuinely appreciate it. Why did that not go through? Is it not connected? I'm gonna test this here quickly. See? The test works. Yeah, the test works. Why doesn't the actual... Oh, god damn it. Unfortunate. Well, thank you anyways. I will try to fix that later. That's annoying. That's really...
Do a barrel roll!
Well, that works. That's good. That works. That's really good to know that that works, actually. But how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So yeah, that one's a resubscribe. Oh, pff, no wonder it didn't work. I didn't fucking set it. God damn it. There we go. God damn. I had the one set for the subscribe, but I didn't have the one set for the resubscribe. I'm a bit of an idiot. It's fine. It's fine. I know I need to add, like, sounds and stuff. Because a lot of things don't have that right now. Because again, I also switched over which program I'm using for my throws. So the one displaying my avatar and... Hi Angel, how are you doing? Thank you for throwing on at my face. Those go really fast. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'll fix those settings later and tinker with them. No, I actually appreciate it this time. I've switched over a lot of my programs, so the more things you guys test, the better I can do things. And right now I've noticed a lot of things don't have sounds, so I'll need to fix that. Thank you for supporting. I genuinely appreciate it. Have a good day at work. Alright. I will make note to add sounds to stuff. Yes, okay. That's fair. That's very fair. Alright. After realizing some things are broken and fixing them, let's get back to this massacre, I guess. None of the victims was holding a knife, which meant whoever had killed them must still be hiding nearby. No sooner than Kano had come to conclusion than he heard a muffled cry behind him. Stanley! The American was sprawled out on the floor, face down. Kano rushed over and knelt beside him. Stanley was dead, stabbed through the back. Without an instant hesitation, Kano stood up again, gun at the ready. It really looks like somebody's behind him right now. That's kind of cool. He scanned his surroundings, but there was no sign of the killer. But that was impossible. Stanley had been killed mere moments ago. Someone had to be here somewhere. Out of nowhere, he felt someone press the tip of a knife into his neck from behind, right at the base of his skull. How? He hadn't noticed anyone coming up on him. There wasn't even anyone else around. Nobody but the corpses scattered across the floor. Wait, the corpses. Kano hadn't checked them. Hadn't checked to make sure they were all really dead. With his last thought, he realized that that had been his fatal mistake. There was somebody behind him. See, I was right. So we need to make some choices in some of the other lines too. Okay. Let's brighten the mood with a bit of Tama, which will help us move on with Minorikawa's, and we'll go from there. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some Burning Hammer. The flyers had already been handed out. People come to the demo expecting to get Burning Hammer. I may have to put it in some new bottles, and possibly water it down some. But getting this stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes. I noticed an art mark that's stamped on it. Ooh, I can't speak. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Chiri said earlier. This is the sort of thing that they'd sell in 100-yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same one that I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it! I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Ray, a glimmer, a sliver, the ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. It's Chiri. Oh, hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100-yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Chiri nods and I break into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's Burning Hammer, all right. There's 50 bottles per box, and there's 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle's 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagishita said he was selling the bottle for demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff. I'd like your entire stock. There are 5 boxes? I mean, there was more before it got broken. I point at the burning hammer, and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. I'm not gonna roll over that easy. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get the stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then you could... Ooh, I can speak. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind just waiting for a moment? She said she stopped by ASAP. Oh, it's her! Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I've reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but... Would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep and my costume head wobbles around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many, though. I do. I make a living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh, wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know that place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of that place. It's a nightlife spot where the ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members. It's not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I ask. A challenge? If I win, you'll let me have all of this. The clerk has the right idea. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I've got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. Oh no. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I gotta win this. Somehow or another. I have got to. I mean, I've gotta be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I naturally mean... Ooh! Come on, we're doing C first. Obviously, we're gonna see this fist fight out. I wanna fucking see this. Poor Tama's gonna get her head kicked in. Ooh. We can come back and change later, but we need to see this. Let's have ourselves a straight-up fight. The girl grins nice and wide, like she'd been waiting to hear me say that. Okay, you're on. Name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Oh my god! Miku and I march out of the shop. Out onto the pavement, we stare each other down. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it and you have to pay for it. Huh? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight. No deal. I don't have time to rethink this. Alright. Ready, whenever you are. No, this game's just that weird. This game is just that weird. You're not high. Well, you might be high, I know you. But no, this game is that weird. It's great. Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. A training technique for boxing involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. No, that's fair. Whoa, what's the deal? Hey, if it helps, that's nothing wrong with that. Is something going on? It's a street fight. A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. Achi Endo and Hitomi Sawa, they pass by while running away from mysterious foreigners. Nice! Okay, that's our jump for later, so we'll grab that later. Asao Ozu and his underlings, Yutaro Saigawa, members of the Tenryugumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryugumi operates a lending firm called Takarada. Sure, financing. And these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. They've already collected from one client today. They plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. The sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's a champion. Ah-ya! She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. Hook. A type of punch involving swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and pin. You're right! I see her now! I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Whoa! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd had started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into the fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Ah! This time I walk as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha! She calls out. It was a feint! There's a visceral whoomp as a second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it. Hiya! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot. Holding her off balance, I begin to walk her backwards, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Gah! A casual flip of my paw and Miku goes whirling through the air. Whoa! Hoo-ha! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Whew, you're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I'm a cat. Oh my god, Tama. I was not expecting Tama to win this. I was ready for Tama to get her head kicked in. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Today's the day I retire. Oh, no! Phew. Good match there. Miku clasped my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad my last opponent was you. It's so cute. Aww. I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how much does this come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I'm shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, was that something Akijutsu, yeah? I kind of expected that to just be a feint and her to just yeah, I was expecting Tama to just get thrown. A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counterattack. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of some more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. Huh? Oh, I guess? Yeah, this game's wild. I fucking love it so much. I tipped my head non-committally. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see them. I don't... At first it was just like a cool detective story, and now it's chaos and sadness and really fucking dark while also dealing with a poor girl stuck in a cat suit doing jujitsu. So Knick-Knack Shop owner Taisei Yusuda watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. He's particularly fond of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I just choked on my own spit. Give me a sec. No, I really, really like this game. I would absolutely recommend anyone to play it. The story is so much fun. Nothing to do with me. Oh no. And is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid, and thus far has only waffled non-committally outside the entrance to the place. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today? He asks. Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awful heavy. Here, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates to the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now, the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will all have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it! Just gotta hurry! I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting. You're late! What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yanagishita practically throws himself at me. The wind must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Who is that guy? He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Master Yanagishita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened, but look, I got the product back. I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's Burning Hammer. It really, really is. Yes. Ooh, Yanagishita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going? I ask. I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. Holy shit, Chiri! I sneak a peek through the door and see Cheetah guzzling an orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it all in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. I think without pulp. Jesus Christ. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all those 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Hi, Dee. How are you doing? Chiri comes back into the break room, positively drenched in sweat. I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. Thank you for the hydrate. Don't worry, T's already seen part of this game. Yeah, you got around 200 fucking Tetris games to play, my dude. That was your mistake. It's a really cool idea, but that was your mistake. Emotes show up on screen. When did I set that up? I don't remember setting that up. I'll work on that later. That's okay, they can stay. No, that was fantastic, Chiri, Mr. Yanagishita says. Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the burning hammer back.
Do a barrel roll.
Hi, Nithya. Ports of each other, not one of the ones that can't emulate. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's still a lot, but that's not as bad. He bows profusely. Hello. Alright, now it's time for the main event. Who's the janitor guy? Chiri, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye aye, boss. And Tama, just go up there, smile all big, and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. Good. Now then, Mr. Yanagishita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who's been waiting quietly nearby. Of course, begging your pardon, miss. The service rep from the rental shop who proceeds to try it's a service rep from the rental shop who proceeds to try and get me out of my mascot suit. Tama's hopefully finally getting out of the mascot. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals, the only son of company president Shimagechi Fukuma. He is one of the few people who know the Shigemichi looks like. Who knows what Shimigechi looks like. Goodbye, Angel. Have a good day at work. As his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume, Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Yanagishita asked nervously. Yeah, this is a no-go. The rento guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper, it's all jammed up. It's going to take a long time to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Yanagishita clutches the sides of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper. But like he said, it's no use. Meow? The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Yanagishita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything. Yanagishita's fuming. Just my luck. Finally, find a cute model and the crowd's never going to see her. Hey, boss, Chiri says, the customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do? Do you want me to go out in there and make some more impressions? Chiri's repertoire of impressions. A sea lion yawning. A harbor seal hailing a cab. A walrus reading sutras. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on his back. A stellar sea lion taking a nap. That's fucking amazing. Oh my god. It doesn't help, like, seals and sea lions make the dumbest noises possible. If you've never heard what a sea lion sounds like, go search it up, please. Please. They make the dumbest noises and I love them. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure? I ask. If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you two. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Chiri and I sprint into action on stage. By now, I'm proud to introduce you the worldwide sensation that is a burning hammer. The latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works its magic, Chiri begins. Yeah, these women look very nonplussed. The plan for me is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Chiri will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single body, a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight to go away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in the I can't read that. Found in chili peppers. The primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Because it's a severe skin and eye irritant, it's also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal defense. Capsaicin. Thank you, Nith. I paused to take a deep breath before continuing, and rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent years to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interrelated health issues including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Chitty steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that fat is being burned right there on the spot. Chitty holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says, as she opens the bottle. However, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on. She's already sweating pretty hard. That's right. Chitty's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in suspicious. Ella, that drinking juice from earlier, was that all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rushed a towel off Chitty's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up, drink it down. Chitty's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Oh, why isn't it working? I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Chitty replies, unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking forever at the 100-yen shop. Oh, no. Oh, we are fucked. The crowd shifts from uproar into riot. Did she just say 100-yen shop? Scowling customers began to close in. No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please, just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product's so valuable that that 100-yen shop is about the only way we could get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Oh, do we have thoughts on which option we should choose? Should we attempt to apologize, brush it off as a joke, or force it off? What's the thoughts here? I think no matter what, we are a dead man walking right now. We are very much a dead man walking right now. Oh my god. Whoo. Okay, I guess I gotta choose. Oh, don't put this on me. You're all very mean. Don't put this on me. Confidence in anything but apologizing? Alright, we'll apologize then. Please, let me apologize. Asking for forgiveness seems to be my only option. But the crowd is still up in arms, clamoring for blood. Tama! Yamagishi shouts, running out from the break room. What the heck did you say? Guess he can't just sit idly by and watch us any longer. Abort! Abort! He howls. If you let these people know about the truth about the stuff, they'll never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Chitty doesn't hesitate to point a finger at him. Her stare ferocious. Whoops. Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Yadagishita is aghast. Now there's really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Yadagishita, their wrath and terror to behold. Bye, Nithya! Have fun at class! So then it is true! What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you tried to sell this crap for these prices. Oh, fuck. The throng goes on the attack. Help! Teary and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. Oh my god. I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. Oh my god. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Yadagishita wails to the empty room. So, boss? About getting paid. Even Chiri seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Yadagishita doesn't so much as look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Chiri says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Yanagishita says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Chiri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals? Oh, right. How much was it again? Mr. Yanagishita rummages in his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the catsuit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. What was that? 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Yanagishita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that, but I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more? Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe. You know I can't do that, sir. Mr. Yanagishita refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. I did. No, you did not, sir. No, I did. Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Yanagishita calmly clasps his hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is here inside my heart. Jesus Christ. Yanagishita. The rental guy clutches the sides of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to leave this to my boss. Shigemechi Fukuma, president and owner of Far East Costume Rentals, notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigemechi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he'd probably never forgive Yanagishita, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Yanagishita is gonna get thrown into a lake somewhere. Oh my god. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo, he slumps his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Yanagishita. Please try not to let it get you down so much, sir, I say cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what it's like to feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. It does look like the cat's about to commit murder. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party's starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who has a run of bad luck, you are dead wrong. I wound up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Yanagishita's head whips his head back up. Yikes, where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia. Yanagishita's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything from before this morning. I knew she had amnesia. I fucking knew it. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenetic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head, causes physical trauma to the brain. In latter cases, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. I knew it! I knew she had amnesia because at the very, very start of the story, she was constantly complaining about a pain at the base of her skull, meaning she was smacked upside the head really hard. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I'd much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where'd you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the tamagoyaki in those lunch boxes. Aha! Tamagoyaki. Tama. I get it. He claps himself on the thighs as if he's got some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. A storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I'd just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. Huh, really? So it's pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are. Sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is. It's not going to do me any good just to fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop. The same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow I know that's important to me. So you took this job just so you could afford to buy it? I nod. Of course, now the job has ended in total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then, Mr. Yanagishita removes his shoe and yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen and adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet and thrusts it all towards me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I plucked up the two 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Like, after all this? Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow. I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Yanagishita gets a far look in his eye. And then one more time, I'm going to see a bride fight. My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts part? Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I've sent so much money at that place. Wow, it is a small world. Especially that Miku. Oh no! Oh no. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miku, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into a tyrant, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. Oh no. He nods. To be honest, the real reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. I can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. Tama's still fucking stuck in this costume. Out in the hallway, I passed by a man I noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize. Odd. The sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the cat suit to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figured it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off. Are we going to attempt to take this fucking costume off, or are we keeping it on? I'm gonna have a drink of water. Keep the costume, be a cat? Alright. Guess this cat's staying in the bag. A popular folk etymology asserts that the expression "let the cat out of the bag" comes from the unscrupulous practices of certain farmers who would sell a pig at a market only to deceive the buyer by surreptitiously swapping out the purchased porker for a cat. The likelihood of anyone mistaking a cat, even one inside a bag, for a pig, however, extremely low, let alone the likelihood that enough people would fall for such a scheme to warrant a phrase referring to it entering the language. Is that what it's from? I never knew! I figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. And we're at a keep-out point. Wow. A lot has just happened. Alright, so I'm gonna stretch for a second. Oh, that feels nice. There we are. Good stretch. So we'll pop back over to Minorikawa's and go from there. At long last, he had arrived at the Nokane building, where the event was being held. Excuse my yawn. I'm gonna pop open this Nick here. Hungry. I've been talking straight for nearly an hour, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of break here. before we get into talking through Minorikawa. I hope you all are enjoying this though, because I'm really enjoying it. I fucking love this game. It feels like we're really close to the ending now, which I'm a little bit sad about, but we might not be. It feels close, but we might just be on the cusp of another climax. We're either really close to the climax or we're close to the end. I don't know what. Alright. I am rehydrated. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about burning Hanmer. Get it or regret it. A Shinnin magazine. We've already read through this one, though. We've read this. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled out a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another. Ta-da! Coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Minorikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. There was no time to stand watching around silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him. Hey, you the one running this thing? Well, yes. When's the actual sales demo going to start? Soon. Very soon, yep. In how many minutes? You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon. This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Minorikawa declared. He held up 3 fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes, if it doesn't start, then what? I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to start a ruckus. I'm just going to go home. Do we have any preference? I like the first one. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, I kind of want to see the first one. I'm going to be heartbroken. He kept his expression blank as an empty slate. Hey now. No need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a little silly magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can't have passed already. 1 minute? Whoa! What kind of watch you got going on there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. Well, or no real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, want folks to get to see the little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, what happened to the merchandise? Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Just, Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. I kind of figured this was going to happen. So, there was a lot of jump points in Tama's story. I think... yeah. This guy. So we'll probably have to do that about one more time. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting, a girlish voice exclaimed. A moment later, a furry figure came charging into the demo room. The crowd fell silent at the sight of a young woman in a cat costume. The cat girl panted visibly. Her arms were loaded with cardboard boxes. You're late, the event organizer snapped. What the heck have you been doing? Grabbing the newcomer by one paw, he vanished with her into the back room. The chubby-cheeked girl wrapped up her magic routine and hurried after them. The audience stared at the now empty stage in confusion. Several minutes passed before the organizer reappeared. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, he called out. But now I'm proud to introduce to you the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. At a signal, the young woman and the cat appeared on stage. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new dry drink works. It's magic, the young woman exclaimed cheerily. The cat nodded and threw out her arms. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. And with that, the sales demo was underway, a good 25 minutes behind schedule. 5 minutes into the presentation, things began to go awry. Angry clamor filled the room. What the heck are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd actually try to sell something like this. Outrage had been triggered by something the young woman on stage had said. She inadvertently slipped that Burning Hammer was the sort of thing you could buy at the 100-yen shop. The would-be customers were furious to learn that they'd been about to be played for suckers. Most of them immediately tried to storm out of the room. Now, the organizer, the full-figured young woman, and the girl in the cat costume were at the door, doing their best to hold back the tide. Things had gotten pretty interesting, really. Minorikawa pulled out his digital camera and started firing snapshots of the angry crowd. Some modern digital cameras come with the remarkable ability to automatically trigger the shutter when the subject smiles. This function also works if the camera is presented with a TV or photo image of people smiling. There are even cases of camera recognizing faces in the wood grain of ceilings. After all, if we can make out faces in the wood when we're gazing lazily up at the ceiling, we can't fault a camera for doing the same. Unfortunately, their frenzy was so intense that it was soon caught up in the flow and pushed out of the room. Fine, I guess I'll just need to do some more interviews instead of getting pictures. Excuse me, he asked one woman, would you mind if I asked you some— Shut your mouth! Would you mind telling me a little bit about— Don't you talk to me! Could I get a word on— Unbelievable, just unbelievable! The woman so enraged that Minorikawa couldn't get any of them to give him the time of day. You don't fuck with middle-aged women. They're fucking terrifying. Before long, the entire crowd had surged out of the room and departed. Oh, well, I guess I've got enough to do a write-up at least. Though it would be nice to get a quote from somebody. He decided to try for an interview with the man who organized this fiasco. How did the guy feel, for instance, about his product scam falling through? Heading back into the event room, Minorikawa passed by the cat mascot. The cat gave him a tiny nod and walked off without a word. He couldn't see the face of the girl inside the costume, but she seemed genuinely dejected that the burning hammer had been a bust. Oh, that's her jump point already. I didn't... Hey, I'm Minori Moroikawa, freelance reporter. I was wondering if I could have 5 minutes of your time. The organizer sat alone in the midst of his rune display. Oh, it's you. The man's voice had lost all of its earlier punch. Here, my credentials. Minorikawa handed him a business card. The man introduced himself as Yanagishita, and Minorikawa got right down to business. So your sales demo's over, Mr. Yanagishita. How do you feel right now? How do I feel? Well, tomorrow's another day, I guess. Minorikawa was impressed by the guy's candor. I'm a little surprised to hear that, he said. I figured you'd be more disappointed. Oh, I'm plenty disappointed. Took a big gamble here to repay my debts, and I lost. Yanagishita didn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Debts? Minorikawa asked. There was a girl I was in love with, Yanagishita said. I wound up spending everything on her. He stared wistfully into the distance. Ah, interesting, Minorikawa said. You wouldn't be the first man to go such lengths for a woman. Yeah, Yanagishita said. I suppose not. A rueful smile crossed his lips. The guy didn't strike Minorikawa as some dyed-in-the-wool scam artist. But I guess I decided that it was time to stop feeling sorry for myself, Yanagishita went on. There are plenty of people in the world who have it way worse off. You know? You got that right. Minorikawa nodded in agreement. I just figure, well, as long as I'm still alive, maybe another opportunity will come my way. A more earnest smile broke through Yanagishita's forlorn expression. Minorikawa wished Toyama could have been here to hear this fellow. I have a friend who's an incredible amount of debt himself, Minorikawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there's big mix-up with the scratch cards in his magazines and... Scratch cards? It's not important, Minorikawa said hurriedly. Letting more people know about the whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favors. Need to drink. Give me a sec. Anyhow, that is a terrible thing, Minorikawa nodded sagely. Oh, by the way, this is unrelated, but are you familiar with a group called SOS? Apparently there's some legendary street gang here in Shibuya. SOS? Yanagishita shook his head. No, never heard of them. Guess I'm not gonna get any leads on that case here. Minorikawa wondered if there was anything else worth asking this guy. Maybe Miss Yanagishita would be willing to take a Shibuya Now survey, or time to wrap this up. How are we feeling? I kinda want to ask him the survey. I'm gonna ask him the survey. Maybe Yanagishita would be willing to take his Shibuya Now survey. Taking a little bit of the burden off Chaiki seemed like a good idea. I have another question. How do you feel about your life right now? Huh? How do you feel about your life? Your products aren't selling, you can't repay your debts, and yet you still refuse to give up, believing an opportunity will come your way. How do you feel about all that? Yanagishita paused in thought. I'd say I'm a pretty lucky guy. Minorikawa was taken somewhat aback by that response. I haven't been able to sell any burning hammer, and I sure can't pay off my debts. But even so, Yanagishita looked Minorikawa right in the eye. The two cute young girls I've got working for me has stuck with me through thick and thin. Sometimes maybe you just need to be content with something like that, you know? That was refreshingly forthright. Minotikawa was surprised. I mean, so what if I've got debts? Yanagishita went on. In the long run, none of that matters. Not really. There was a knock at the door. Oh, excuse me a moment, Yanagishita said. I wonder who that could be. The debt collectors. He opened the door and his face froze. Damn. Wasn't quite quick enough. Mr. Minorikawa? Yes? You'll have to pardon me. I've had a little something crop up here, so if you don't mind... Oh, sure, not a problem. I've got another interview, so I need to get to anyways, so I'll just... But Yanagishita was out the door before Minorikawa could even finish. Yanagishita's ending up in, like, somewhere. Stepping out into the hallway, Minorikawa could faintly hear voices from the adjoining demo room. It sounded like Mr. Yanagishita and two other men. Minorikawa couldn't make out any words, but he could tell they were arguing about something. It was probably some consumer complaint against one of his products, or an issue with a client company. Something along those lines. Man, people who run companies sure have it rough. You hang in there, Mr. Yanagishita. Oh, perfect timing. Minorikawa stopped as a familiar voice called out to him. It was the man he'd spoken to earlier in the afternoon about the surveillance cameras. Hey, come here for a sec. The man waved him over. What is it? I'm real busy right now. I've got a scoop for you. I saw it with my own two eyes. Minorikawa raised an eyebrow. Give me the details. Okay, so a little while ago, I saw some foreign guy in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. A foreigner in handcuffs. Had there been some kind of international sting or something? Whatever the case, it wasn't such a rare thing to see. Where was this? Just over there, behind the police station. Minorikawa furrowed his brow. The suspect arguing with the cops outside a police station wasn't all that weird. Still, he had a feeling he was missing something here. Well, the big thing is what happened afterwards, the man said. Afterward? The man leaned in conspiratorially. The detective undid the guy's handcuffs and let him run off. What? Whoa, what? I'm telling you, man. It had to have been like a bribe or something. A bribe? That seemed unlikely. I swear, that's what it had to be. There was some wheel greasing going on. You're not making all this up, are you? Minorikawa asked. He regarded the man coldly, but the guy still seemed quite legitimately worked up. It's all true. Please, you have to report this to the police right away. Why do I have to? Minorikawa asked. If you have a tip for the police, go give it yourself. He didn't quite manage to stop himself from saying that out loud. No, I can't. I'm no good when it comes to the police. Besides, they're never going to believe someone like me. Okay, so maybe he had a point there. But you're some world-class reporter, right? The cops will totally take your word over that of some random nobody. Minorikawa didn't have time to debate the point. It was just either make the call. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. The man bowed repeatedly, looking pretty grateful. Fascinating. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't been able to get any business done with those scary thugs around. What thugs? What line of business are you in anyway? What? The man suddenly went pale. Whoops. I gotta get going. He skittered off in alarm. Minorikawa was left to wonder what this guy's line of work actually was. But he had more important things to worry about at the moment. He hurried off in the other direction. Before long, he arrived back at Café Latresse. The clock on the wall showed it was close to 2 o'clock. He had to somehow fill 6 more pages before the loan company came to Heaven's Publishing to collect. He booted up his laptop. What's with this coffee shop? He said in a low, stern voice. You've got no good magazines here. Minorikawa looked up. An older man was complaining to one of the waitresses. It's the same guy who'd been yelling at his daughter earlier. Evidently, he'd been here at this cafe the whole time. Haven't you got any magazines for me to read? The man's face was a mask of irritation. Minorikawa glanced at the magazines in the rack. They're mostly geared towards a younger reader. The waitress sifted through the stacks and pulled something from the back. Perhaps this would be to your liking, sir? She said. She held an issue of 4-Star General Gossip. Don't be ridiculous, the man spat dismissively. It's vulgar, low-grade filth. I wouldn't even use the paper it's printed on for compost. That's a harsh way to put it, but Minorikawa couldn't fault him for speaking the truth. The man continued grumbling as he went back to his seat. Minorikawa headed over to the magazine himself and picked up the gossip. He opened the front cover and found a scratch card still inserted within. If these things were still out there, it was bad news. Toyama might end up in even further debt. Bah! Minorikawa yanked the scratch card out and tore it to bits. Sir, what are you doing? The waitress rushed to stop him, only for the pieces to rain down on her like confetti. The magazine itself is still perfectly readable, Minorikawa said. There's no problem here. He strode back to his seat and gazed at his laptop screen. It still hadn't finished booting up. In the meantime, he decided to give Chaiki a call. That is one slow-ass fucking laptop. She picked up right away. Hello? Minorikawa asked. Hi there. Good to hear from you. Chaiki replied. How's progress? I did it, Chaiki said, her voice overcome with emotion. I managed to get people to hear me out. Of course you did. You got your pointers from me. Yes, I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Mino. Her mood had done a completely 180. Minorikawa allowed himself a little sigh of relief. Okay then, head back to the editing department and put together an article for me. You got it, sir, Chaiki chirped in reply. I'll email you as soon as I'm done with things on my end, Minorikawa told her. Just use the DDP to slot your piece into the right spot in the layout. Abbreviation for desktop publishing refers to the process of editing a manuscript's layout on a computer preparatory to sending it to the printer. Also used to refer to software used for creating such layouts. Creating layout data is ready for printing, has not actually been printed yet, is also something called DTP. Wow. I can't speak right now. Ooh, crunchy hands. Sure thing. Minorikawa hung up and rolled up his sleeves. Sure, he was towing a pretty narrow line today. The Burning Hammer event had kept him a little longer than he anticipated. Now he needed to clean his copy up as soon as possible in order to stick to his schedule. When he turned back to his last laptop, however, he froze with shock. What? His laptop monitor was still a black, empty screen. There was no way it would take this long to finish booting up. Oh, it couldn't be. No, don't let it be true. His computer had decided to pick now, of all times, to give up the ghost. Minorikawa felt the blood drain from his face. That is such a scary image. Oh my god, that's terrifying. That's so scary. That was actually like a very freaky image. Good job. Okay. So we'll probably need to futz with the other two. So we'll probably do Achi's next and continue down their route. And then I'll jump back over to Tana's, unless it's obvious what we need to do for Kano's. But I don't think we'll have enough time for that. So I think by the time we get to the end of Achi's route will be done for the day. There it is. Oops. Go back. How do I know how to do this, I swear. Oh, there's a summary feature? I know there's a way you can see the previous lines, but I don't remember how to access it. Let's just go back to the time chart. Sorry. I'm being nosy because I saw something. How have I never actually looked for this? There's a full bad ending list. Why does Kano have so many? This poor man. But that's only the ones I got. So you can go back and find them all. Oof. That would be an off time thing. Let's get the jump point here. As luck would have it, they soon found a crowd in their path, backs turned toward them. Excited voices rose up from the throng. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight. A fight, as the name implies, that takes place out on a street, typically using bare hands and no weapons. Even a barehanded fight can result in serious injuries, though, which is why they're pretty illegal. Achi clutched Tomi's hand good and tight. Whatever you do, don't let go. Without a moment's hesitation, he plowed his way through the crowd. Emerging on the far side of the gathering, Achi saw the main tour road ahead. Cars were zipping past in a steady stream. What do we do? There were too many cars for them to rush across the street without getting hit. But they couldn't exactly sit and wait for the light to change. And they certainly couldn't go back the way they came. Their pursuers were getting closer and closer. "Hitomi!" Achi shouted. Turning back's probably not a good idea. Please don't get hit. Please don't get hit. We're going across. What? Dragging Hitomi by the hand, Achi darted out into the street. Moving purely by instinct, he wove his way through the gaps between the speeding cars. They were halfway across and a car slammed its brakes to keep from hitting them, causing several cars to crash behind it into one another. The multi-vehicle pilot plunged the roadway into total chaos. As a result of this chaos, traffic in nearby area will be at a standstill for a while. While on their way to the Syndicate hideout, Shinio Kano and Jack Stanley have gotten caught in this traffic jam. Aye! That's the change up for Kanos. In a matter of moments, the street was clogged with a long line of stopped vehicles. Achi and Hitomi's pursuers remained on the other side and did not pursue. Okay, that was crazy. Hitomi panted as she caught her breath. Okay, I hate myself for noticing, so I'm pointing it out. Somebody drew a dick on that pole. God damn it. Well, you know what they say. Idle feet are the devil's playthings. What? Hands. It's Idol's hands. Whatever. At least they'd gotten away. Come on, let's go. Achi led the way down several twisting side streets before slowing his pace. By now, Hitomi was slumped and panting heavily. He wanted to give her some time to rest, but if they just hung around, their pursuers might still find them. He looked around and spotted a multi-tenant building. The nearest door was open. Bundles of flyers were set out near the entrance. Flyers for Au revoir, the 22nd performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. It tells the tale of a man named Ryu looking back on his 100-year life as a warrior. The performance features wire action as its major set piece, with Ryu and his rival Shido flying high through the air, doing battle with magical Murasama blade and beam saber respectively. Achi peeked inside and saw piles of wooden plywood and painted lumber. It looks like this was a storeroom for theater stage props and scenery. We can hide out in here, he said. But... Hitomi hesitated, but Achi gave her hand a little tug. It'll be fine. There's nobody around. They stepped inside the storeroom, and Achi quickly shut the door behind them. We should probably rest for a bit, he said. There was a wooden platform set up beside a large piece of plywood. Achi picked up a magazine that had fallen on the floor and spread it out atop the platform's dusty surface. Here, now you can sit without getting your clothes dirty. Thank you. Hitomi quietly took a seat. We should probably turn off our cell phones, Achi said. It could be really bad if they rang at the wrong moment. The two powered off their phones. Achi took a cursory look around. It didn't look like there was any way in or out besides the door they'd come in through. There was a single window set in the hall, but it wouldn't open far enough to let them through. Oh, fuck, that's so scary. That actually scared me. Ah! Hitomi let out a quiet gasp. Someone was outside the storeroom. Achi put a finger to his lips, and Hitomi gave a fearful nod. The window's frosted glass blocked any real view in or out. So as long as they stayed quiet, they ought to be safe. Whoever was outside pressed their face to the frosted glass, trying to get a glimpse inside. Oh, I have the heebie-jeebies real bad from this. I don't like this. The blurry visage of the foreigner who'd attacked them was dimly visible. Like the man with the cane before, this guy was quick to catch up. The man pounded on the glass. Achi swallowed the lump in his throat. If this guy got in, they had nowhere to run. Achi turned to Hitomi. I think it's best if we don't move. We might die here, but that's alright. I don't think moving at this point's a good idea. We'll be fine. Just sit tight. Hitomi clutched onto Achi's arm. Hard. Can I help you with something? Said a casual voice from outside. They saw their pursuer react at once, pulling back from the window. That's just our storeroom, you know, the voice added. Achi heard footsteps scampering away. The kidnapper had run off. Achi exclaimed glances with Hitomi and let out a tiny sigh. There were more voices coming from outside now. What was up with that guy? I don't know. Whatever, let's just hurry and get this stuff tidied up. Man, my throat's raw. Sounded like a conversation between two men. The storeroom door opened and the men clomped their way inside. Tomonari Tayaka and Paro Toga, two members of the theater troupe, The Wandering Angels, Tayaka is Wandering Angel's star actor, playing the lead role of Ryu in today's performance of Au revoir, the troupe's 22nd piece. Last night, he slept completely naked and caught a cold, leading to the sore throat he has now. Toga is the stage director, handling things behind the scenes. He's very irritated that Shinichi Bando, in charge of the props, seems to have gone AWOL. So what are we getting? Ugh. Let's grab those folding chairs over there. Yeah. The producer said we're gonna need a lot more seats all of a sudden. Mr. Oari? Maybe. Said that? Going out for the troupe's last hurrah, huh? Beats me, man. I'm in no really hurry. The men went about carting the folding chairs away. They didn't know Hachi and Hitomi sitting silently in the shadows. Not to change the subject, but how come we're using dry ice machine and not a smoke machine? Maybe that's why my throat's bothering me. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Nobody's even operating it and it's still drawing a ton of power. Think it's defective? Hachi and Hitomi waited for the two men to finish up. If they were spotted, they'd probably cause a scene, and worse still, it might alert them to the men who were hunting them. Once they'd carried off the rest of the folding chairs, the men closed the storeroom door. The foreigner could still be somewhere nearby, though, so Hachi decided they should hide out in the room a little longer. This blows. I want to get back out there and look for the blue van ASAP, but Hachi trailed off as something occurred to him. Wait a second. Now that's weird. Hitomi looked at me inquiringly. The kidnappers already have the ransom money, yeah? Hachi said. That's right. And then they told you that your sister was in some blue minivan? Isn't that kind of weird? What do you mean? Did you figure out your sister that was in the minivan by herself? Well, yes. If one of the kidnappers were in with her, they wouldn't need to send me to go get her. Right, Hachi said. And yet the fact is, as the kidnappers had their money, they could have let Hitomi's sister out of the vehicle and run off. There's no point in sending Hitomi to fetch her personally. A look of revelation dawned on Hitomi's face. Oh! That minivan had already left Okanzaka, she said. And it came back while we were there, waiting for it, Hachi finished. He thought back to his early run with the blue vehicle. So then inside that minivan, there had been a bunch of foreigners inside. Which meant... These kind of mean the same thing, but they don't have any intention. The kidnappers didn't have any intention of giving her sister back. The more Hachi thought about it, the less sense it made for them to send Hitomi to get her. There'd been some other reason they wanted Hitomi to go to that minivan, but what? Do you think they were trying to kidnap me too? That's it. Hachi clapped his hands together. They'd let your sister go and demand a ransom for you. And then they'd make her deliver the ransom money for your release. They'd be able to get, like, infinite ransom money by constantly abducting one twin after the other. I don't think that's quite it, but maybe. That seems a little far-fetched. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Now that she said, though, Hachi realized it was kind of a ridiculous idea. Still, what if the kidnappers really were trying to kidnap me, Hitomi said. As in, like, they accidentally abducted the wrong twin. Oh. Maybe? I mean, I guess that would have been easy to botch up. That would imply they wanted me, specifically, and not my sister. Hitomi paused briefly in thought. Maybe you're hotter than your sister or something? Hachi suggested with enthusiasm. Hitomi shook her head. That can't be it. If anything, it's the other way around. Compared to my sister, I'm just... Whoa, hey, stop right there. Hachi had to interrupt her. You're not just anything. Please don't. I'm just... Tears had welled up in Hitomi's eyes. Why'd this have to happen to her? Why not me? Whoa, hey, come on, don't cry. I'm sorry. Cheer up. It's like that song says. Don't just stand there. Wipe those tears away. That one. You know it? Is that Aya Kamiki? Yeah, that's the one. Put your hand in mine. Every single bee's a light. Huh? You know, every single bee's a light. Hitomi let out a giggle. Everything will be alright. Hmm? You've got the lyrics wrong. Everything will be alright. Ah, right. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I guess. Achi's mouth curled into a sheepish smile. Alright, I think we've laid low long enough, Achi said at last. I think we should be on our way. He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yikes, that was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch it. The theater guys from earlier had returned, and they sounded a bit panicked. Tomonari Taeke and Taharo Toga, two members of the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. Taeka's the Wandering Angels star actor, but lately, in addition to appearing on their stage, he's been taking on TV drama and film work as well. The next role he's slated in is for Sun TV's upcoming suspense drama Sumo Queen 2, where he will play the referee who utters the lame line, "Looks like things are getting heavy," upon discovering a victim's dying message inscribed in one corner of the sumo ring. That is such a lame line. Heard folks have been messing with the storeroom a bunch recently. Yeah, uh-huh. And did you hear who's behind it? Some juvenile delinquents. Like a gang? Wow, that takes me way back. Alright, let's hurry on back. Achi rushed over to the door. He tried turning the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. Oh, come on, are you freaking kidding me? He paced frantically around the room, pulling at his hair. We're locked in! And that door was the only way in or out. Achi and Hitomi were, well, and truly trapped inside the storeroom. This is all my fault, Achi said. It was my idea to hide out here in the first place. He bowed to Hitomi repeatedly. We're never going to be able to find that blue minivan now. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Hitomi replied. She scowled thoughtfully. They powered their phones back on in order to call for help. The big question was, who could they possibly ask? Hitomi, anyone you can reach out to. Mr. Tanaka, I suppose? Tanaka, right. The suggestion didn't exactly thrill Achi. He had no idea what this Tanaka guy was like. Hopefully he was the dependable sort who'd actually show up to rescue them. But somehow that thought made Achi feel worse. Achi had someone he figured he could call, but he hesitated, uncertain. There'd been a time wherein he'd trusted this guy more than anyone. They'd bailed each other out of countless jams. Nowadays, though, things were different. Hitomi gave Achi a puzzled look as he sat lost in thought. Right, I guess I don't have much of a choice. Achi scrolled through the contact list on his cell phone. He found a name he'd thought he'd never call again. Susumu. Yo. Achi? Is that you? Susumu's voice was low and guarded. Look, I've got a favor to ask you. I'm in a real bind here. Huh? Like, things are ridiculously bad. I thought maybe you could help me out a little bit? You seriously thought I'd help you? Susumu's words were like ice. You're messing with me or something, man. Now he sounded a touch angry as well. Painful memories flashed before Achi's eyes. Right then, sorry to bug you, just forget it. But Susumu hung up before Achi was even finished talking. No dice, Achi said to Hitomi with a lopsided frown. She looked back at him, her expression a mirror of his own. What should we do? What should we do? I guess we're back to Mr. Tanaka. Guess so. You want to go ahead then? Hitomi tried calling him, repeatedly, but Tanaka didn't pick up. What could have happened? She muttered under her breath. Do you think maybe the kidnappers found out Mr. Tanaka and I have been in contact? Achi shrugged. It looked like they were just going to need to find some way out of here on their own, and then maybe look for the minivan themselves. Achi strode over to the door and grabbed hold of the knob. He tried giving it a good sturdy pull. No good. Thing won't even budge. The door opens outward. Wait, really? Achi tried giving it a push. Still didn't open. He kicked it. Oh! Door wasn't nearly as sturdy as Achi had expected. I think I can make this work. He backed up to get a running start, and then kicked the door with all his might. Hi-ya! The door went flying off its hinges. Oh man, that was way too easy. Jesus Christ, Achi! Achi cautiously stepped out of the storeroom. He quickly scanned the surrounding area. There was nobody in sight. Looks like we're in the clear, he called. But Hitomi didn't come out, nor did she reply. Hitomi? She had her phone in hand, apparently still trying to get in touch with Tanaka. With a tiny sigh, Achi leaned against the wall and waited for her to finish. Well? Doesn't look like I'm going to have any luck, she said. You know we can leave now, right? Are you still holding out hope for your Mr. Tanaka? It's not that, I'm just a little worried. Oh yeah? Okie dokie then. I'll just, wait around here. Okay, I'll be right with you. Uh-huh. Achi shuffled his way back outside. Aang immediately gets sucker punched. Oh, crap. By the time Achi could finish processing the thought, he had already laid out on the ground. His jaw hit the asphalt hard. He bit the tip of his tongue clean off. The taste of the blood filled his mouth. A moment later, he took a sharp blow to the head. He was done for. All the energy drained from his body. His mind whirled. His vision grew hazy. He began to drift from consciousness. Back when he'd run with Susumu and the others, he never left himself exposed to a surprise attack. There were plenty of times when he'd taken a punch that sent him reeling, but only to spin away and come back swinging. This time, he hadn't even seen it coming. It was his last mistake. Guess I've let myself go soft. Achi grimaced inwardly, muttering in a voice nobody but him could hear. Hitomi, I'm so sorry. Alright. And with that, that is where we shall end it today. Quite a high note to end it on. But yeah, I feel like we're getting to the climax now. There's a lot of really good build-up, and I feel like we're getting to the end now. I will look for somebody to raid, and we will go from there. Or... yes. I might just call it today as well. Yeah, I don't have anyone on right now, so I'm just gonna call it for today. So, I will see you all tomorrow when I'm actually supposed to be streaming. this was a good test of things and a good chance for me to get my brain back down from up in the air where it was. So, I will see you all next time. Or tomorrow. Goodbye!